You walk into a room you have never set foot in before. Someone hands you a glass of water. Nothing unusual. And then it hits you, cold and certain. You have been here before. Not the room, the moment. This exact second, down to the words being spoken. It lasts maybe 10 seconds, then it's gone, like it never happened. You just experienced déjà vu, and you have no idea why. Here's the part nobody mentions about that feeling. It isn't a memory. You are not actually remembering anything. Nothing about that room is stored anywhere in your head. And yet your brain is screaming that it is with total confidence. So something inside you is lying to you convincingly. The question is why your own mind would do that. Roughly 2 out of 3 people get déjà vu at least once. And the leading explanation for it is genuinely bizarre. Stay with me. Because it suggests the glitch isn't a malfunction at all. It might be proof that your brain is working exactly as designed. First, the name. Déjà vu is French for already seen. It was coined in 1876 by a French researcher named Émile Boirac. He needed a label for a sensation everyone had felt, but nobody could explain. And already seen is exactly the trap, because you haven't seen it. That contradiction is the whole mystery in 2 words. To understand it, you need to know your memory has 2 separate jobs. The first job is recollection, actually retrieving a specific event. Remembering your 10th birthday, the cake, the name of the friend who cried. The second job is familiarity, a raw feeling that something is known. Like seeing a face on the street you're sure you know but can't place. Normally these 2 run together, in sync. Recognition arrives with the memory attached, and it all makes sense. Déjà vu is what happens when the 2 come apart. The familiarity fires. The memory behind it never shows up. So you get the certainty of knowing with absolutely nothing to know. This handshake happens deep inside your temporal lobes. There's a small almond-shaped structure in there called the hippocampus. Its job is to file experiences away as retrievable memories. Right next to it sits a region called the rhinal cortex. The rhinal cortex is your brain's familiarity detector. It fires a quiet signal that says, yes, we've encountered this. Usually that signal only fires when the hippocampus has a matching file. But the rhinal cortex can misfire on its own. It sends the familiar alarm with no memory to back it up. Scientists actually caught this happening on brain scans. The first big clue came from patients with temporal lobe epilepsy. Some of them feel intense déjà vu seconds before a seizure begins. The electrical storm starts in exactly that memory region. Stimulate that patch of brain with a tiny current and the feeling appears on demand. Which told researchers something huge. Déjà vu is electrical. It's not mystical. It's a specific circuit firing at the wrong time. But that explains where it happens, not why it happens to healthy people. So here's the first real theory. It's called split perception. Imagine you glance at a scene while distracted, barely paying attention. Your brain logs a faint, incomplete version of it. A second later, you look properly and see the same scene in full. Your brain recognizes it correctly, but has no idea it saw it a second ago. So it labels the whole thing as an old memory, ancient, mysterious. When really, the past it's remembering was 1 second ago. The second theory is even sneakier. It's about shapes and layouts. Say you walk into a friend's living room for the first time. The couch, the lamp, the window are arranged just like your grandmother's old room. You don't consciously notice the resemblance. But the layout itself feels deeply, inexplicably familiar. Your brain recognizes the pattern without recognizing the source. Researchers tested this using virtual reality rooms, and it worked. They gave people déjà vu on purpose just by matching room layouts. Stay with me. A psychologist named Anne Cleary built dozens of virtual reality rooms that secretly shared a single hidden layout. Each looked completely different: a museum, a bowling alley, a garden, yet the furniture sat in identical spots. A couch on the left, a lamp in the center, a window on the right, every single time. When someone entered a new room matching that hidden skeleton, their sense of déjà vu spiked instantly. They could never name the earlier room. The feeling arrived anyway, loud, certain, and sourceless. That is the smoking gun familiarity firing from a pattern your conscious mind never knowingly stored. Cleary had done it, déjà vu, manufactured in a lab, out of pure geometry. So the layout theory holds, but it is not the only machine running underneath. Here is a second idea, and it is all about timing. Your brain runs on paired clocks. Signals from your senses take two separate routes to reach the same processing center. Normally, they arrive together, a few milliseconds apart, and fuse into one smooth, present moment. But suppose one route lags delayed by a tiny fraction of a second. Now the same instant lands twice, once fresh, then again a heartbeat later. Your brain reads that second copy as a memory of the first. So the present feels like a rerun because, electrically, for a moment it is. This is the dual processing theory, déjà vu as a simple scheduling glitch. Two departments filing the same event, one stamped now, the other stamped before. It is tidy. It is also nearly impossible to prove timing that fine hides well. Which brings the strangest theory, and my favorite. Picture your memory as a hologram. Cut a hologram in half, and each piece still shows the whole image just blurrier. Memory may work the same way. One fragment can rebuild the entire scene. A single smell, color, or angle can reconstruct a whole moment from years ago. Déjà vu might be that reconstruction misfiring on a weak partial match. The scene in front of you shares just enough fragments to trigger the whole. But the real memory stays too faint to surface, so you get the glow without the picture. Recognition, fully lit. The source memory, still sitting in the dark. Three theories, one culprit, a familiarity signal that shows up without its paperwork. Now, a clue hiding in plain sight. Who actually gets déjà vu the most? Not the old, the young. It peaks hard between the ages of 15 and 25. By 60, most people report it rarely, if ever. That feels completely backwards. More years should mean more memories to accidentally match. So why does it fade? Because déjà vu may be your memory system fact-checking itself in real time. A young brain runs that error check aggressively, catching every false alarm it raises. As the checking system ages, it fires less often and flags fewer glitches. Less déjà vu is not sharper memory, it may just be a quieter fact-checker. There is another pattern. Déjà vu spikes when you are exhausted or badly stressed. Pull an all-nighter, and a tired brain fumbles the timing between its two clocks. Stress floods the same temporal lobe circuits that misfire during that epilepsy clue. Travel, jet lag, two little sleep classic triggers reported for over a century. A frayed brain mismatches its signals more often, so the glitch surfaces more often. It is not a warning. It is fatigue leaking into the machinery of recognition. Which means the eerie feeling has a wonderfully boring cause. You are simply tired. Now flip the whole thing over. Déjà vu has an evil twin. It is called jamais vu French for never seen. It is the exact opposite. Something deeply familiar suddenly feels utterly alien. Stare at a common word long enough and it stops looking like a word at all. Write the same word 30 times and it dissolves into meaningless shapes on the page. That is jamais vu recognition switching off exactly where it should stay on. And there is a third sibling, presque vu, meaning almost seen. The word stuck on the tip of your tongue, forever 1 inch out of reach. 3 glitches, one system, the machinery that quietly decides what feels known. So let us kill the myth. Déjà vu is not a glitch in the matrix. It is not a past life bleeding through, or a forgotten dream resurfacing. There is no evidence you are seeing the future, only that you feel the present twice. Every controlled study points inward, to circuitry, never outward, to the supernatural. The mystery was never whether déjà vu is magic. It plainly is not. The mystery is why a brain this reliable trips in exactly this one way. So here is the reveal this whole video has been walking toward. That 10-second glitch is not a malfunction. It is your brain catching a malfunction. The unease you feel is the error message proof your fact checker is running. So walk back into that unfamiliar room, cream walls, honeywood floor, one bright window. Pick up the same glass of water. Feel the certainty rise. I have been here before. This time, you just smile. It is only your brain doing its job exactly right.